Hello all, and welcome to The Easy Nerd. For the first video of the year, I thought I would do a Superman 2025 versus Man of Steel video and go through all main aspects and which I think does them better and score them up at the end. If you've watched some of the videos, you probably know which movie I will favor. Also, this will be controversial, and spoilers ahead. Firstly, the stories. Superman 2025, in my opinion, has a bad first half but great second half. It feels like we are dropped in the middle of the story, and much of the first act is skipped entirely. Superman off-screen at the start stops a war and is defeated for the first time as Lex Luthor, throughout the story, is attempting to cause the war and kill Superman, and it ends very strongly. It's a good story overall, but there are a lot of holes and rushed moments throughout. Man of Steel, on the other hand, has a consistently great story throughout. Start strong with Krypton destruction, and then we follow Clark Kent as he discovers his origins and begins his career as Superman with flashbacks to his childhood. And then, when he is Superman, he has to with help face off with Zod and his army of Kryptonians, ending with some epic confrontations and an epic ending. Strong stuff throughout, so the first point has to go to Man of Steel. On to the main hero, aka Superman. The Superman of James Gunn's Superman is a mix between the classic Christopher Reeve with some James Gunn stuff mixed in. He's played well by David Cornersweat, and his heroics throughout the story are very good. However, one big issue. He's very nerfed and frankly made to look weak throughout most of the movie. His first few scenes he is defeated by a villain twice. He fights a giant monster, and despite some cool saves, the Justice Gang defeat the monster. He is rescued by Mr. Terrific halfway through the movie, who would go on to essentially save the day and steal the movie, along with Krypto the Superdog, who saves Superman towards the end. This is a major downgrade for me, as Superman is supposed to be the powerful hero on Earth, pretty much. Now, Henry Cavill's Superman in Man of Steel is the polar opposite, whereas he has none of the dorky stuff, which I'm fine with, and is extremely powerful like Superman should be. He is assisted by Lois Lane and the military, but essentially, Superman saves the day himself at the end. He even saves people throughout the movie and while fighting evil Kryptonians. He just gives off an aura that the other Superman has yet to give off that Christopher Reeve and other Superman have. So, point goes to Man of Steel. Now, on to the villains. Superman 2025 has Lex Luthor, who is a decent adaptation of the villain played by Nicholas Hoult, who is a little hammy and over the top, but he looks and acts the part. My one issue with Lex Luthor is that he seemingly cries at the end when defeated and his evil deeds exposed, something I didn't like as it made him look weak. His two main cronies, Ultraman and the Engineer, are just there as physical foils. And Ultraman is not comic accurate, which bothers me as he's an evil alternative universe Superman. General Zod, the main villain of Man of Steel, is brilliant and great villain. A Kryptonian bred to serve his people, and will go as far as to do a coup on his own world and commit genocide on Earth to do so. Sympathetic yet dangerous and intimidating, who forces Superman to be so desperate he has to break his no-kill rule. His second-in-command, Feora, is also an awesome secondary villain, fierce and imposing. There's other Kryptonians there as well, like Jaxer, who are fine. But once again, point goes to Man of Steel. The side casts. Superman 2025, Daily Planet staff is the full package with a perfect Lois Lane. A funny but odd lady killer like Jimmy Olsen. A good Perry White with Cat Grant and Lombard along for the ride. Literally. Superman's human parents, I liked epically his father's speech. His Kryptonian parents are just there briefly as holograms, but I liked the twist that this version wants him to conquer Earth, which I thought was bold. He also had the Justice Gang and other heroes along for the ride, with Superdog and Mr. Terrific being standouts. Green Lantern and Metamorpho being fun. Hawkgirl and Supergirl were annoying, though. Man of Steel also has a perfect Lois Lane and a great Perry White and Lombard there too. His human and Kryptonian parents were well cast and had some great scenes. Due to having a full package Daily Planet crew and some good side heroes, this point goes to Superman 2025. Now onto the action. The action in Superman is fun, with the standout being Superman versus Lex Luthor's armored raptors and Ultraman in the climax. However, this is the only time in the movie Superman shows himself to be any kind of badass, which is a problem. Mr. Terrific, however, also has a standout action scene, taking down Lex's troops before saving Superman. Also, something of note, Superman's flying is a little shaky. Literally. Man of Steel, however, action is perfect. Superman's flying is perfection. His epic fight scenes with Zod and other Kryptonians, perfect. Man of Steel wins this easily. Costumes and special effects. Man of Steel wins this one easy. I think the Superman costume is perfect, really showing off the Superman symbol and godlike physique. And the special effects throughout the movie are flawless. Superman's, however, the costume is fine, but it doesn't flatter David Cornersweat's physique, which he did a great job with. And the Justice Gang costumes were meh, and some of, not all, the CGI, like Metamorphose Baby, were a choice. Finally, soundtrack. Both Superman 2025 and Man of Steel's soundtracks slap, but Man of Steel's just has the edge for me, as it doesn't recycle the classic Superman Christopher Reeve theme at all, and is more iconic and epic. But that's Hans Zimmer for you. So in conclusion, that Man of Steel 6 and Superman 2025 won. Yeah, for me, Man of Steel is superer in nearly every aspect and is a much better, well-made, consistent movie from start to finish, in my opinion. Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. This has been The Easy Nerd.